Good morning. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and please remain standing for the Star-Spangled Banner sung by Senior Leah San. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? The land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Leah. Please be seated. At this time, I would like to bring up Mr. Delafov, our senior class advisor, to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to, obviously, the Fort Lee High School class of 2020 graduation. I want to thank everyone for being here, Board of Ed members, district administration, high school administration, faculty, friends, family, and, of course, the graduates. Before I go on, I want everyone to take a second and give yourselves a round of applause for making it here. Right, with everything going on, this is special that everyone can be here together. I'm not going to go on for too long, but I do want everyone to take a second and think back to your sophomore year when I took over as your advisor, and I told you that this day would come very quickly, and it did. I was right. Okay? So I also told you that you will always have a place here, a home here at Fort Lee, and that was also true. So while I know you will all go on to do great things, and I wish you the best of luck, please remember that you always have a home here at Fort Lee. All right, without further ado, I just want to bring up your class president, Simran Patwalia. Now it's clean.
Thank you, Mr. Delafov. Good morning, parents, relatives, teachers, friends, administrators, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2020. We did it. First, I would like to thank Mr. Delafov for always supporting my sometimes crazy ideas and always having my back and giving me great advice. And I would also like to thank my parents for always supporting me no matter what I do and encouraging me to be the best version of myself. I couldn't have done it without you guys. Standing here today in front of all of you is an accomplishment in itself. I know we can all agree that 2020 has been one big roller coaster. At this time of the year last year, teachers and parents were telling us to cherish the time we have together and to never take anything for granted. And that is exactly what this year has taught us, if not more. It saddens me to say that senior year was not what we had all expected. From the cancellation of prom to the cancellation of senior field day, and of course the big senior prank, which I'm sure the administration is not very upset about. We were not able to experience the normal senior year that all graduating seniors were able to in the previous years. Although this year was not the best, I think that we can all agree that we were one of the first graduating classes to change traditions and make history. Dressing up and still having a prom celebration despite the cancellation, participating in the virtual graduation video, having large signs to honor all that we have accomplished, and of course, having a socially distanced and safe in-person graduation while following all guidelines. As the summer comes to a close, we're all getting ready to leave. Each and every one of us is going our separate ways, and admittedly, that scares me a little. Don't get me wrong, I am more than excited for the new chapter in my life. Moving to a new place with all new people is equally exciting and terrifying. However, it won't be the same place that most of us have called home for the past 12 years. We won't meet up on this exact ground on Friday nights and cheer on our football team. We won't be able to have endless movie nights and stay up late doing things we shouldn't have or do absolutely nothing together. All these little acts that we performed with our friends and took for granted will become distant memories that we will cherish forever. I know that this isn't goodbye forever and we will see each other again soon. But by then, we will all have different lives and different people that we may call friends. I'm thankful for the friends who stuck by me through it all, for the friends who aren't really friends anymore, and for the friends who were never really more than good classmates. You all contributed to my high school experience in one way or another, and for that I am incredibly grateful. As your elected senior class president of 3 years, I would like to leave you with a message by Joe Plumeri that will hopefully stick with you in college or whatever you have decided to do moving forward. You can Google for an answer, you can Google for a mate, you can Google for a career, but you can't Google to find what's in your heart, the passion that lifts you skyward. Thank you, Fort Lee, for making the person I am today, and of course, congratulations, graduates. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Delafav and Simran. I now invite our salutatorian, Daniel Park, to address the class.
Thank you, Ms. Glenn. Good morning. As this year's salutatorian, it is my honor to welcome you all to Fort Lee High School's commencement ceremony for the class of 2020. I would like to take a moment to thank everyone who helped us reach this final milestone in our high school journey. The wonderful faculty and administration who did everything they could to teach and inspire us, our loving families who are with us every step of the way, and our friends who made the last 4 years so memorable. We couldn't have done it without you all. Many of you here today may be focused on the ongoing pandemic, but although the past few months have been hectic, it is important to recognize that they only make up a small fraction of our time in high school. In 10 years, when we look back, we won't really remember the Zoom calls and Google Classroom assignments. We'll remember the football games, the pep rallies, and the other wonderful memories we made at school. We are gathered here today, 6 feet apart, and wearing face coverings, but that shouldn't stop us from fully celebrating all the good moments we had. Of course, we shouldn't just forget about COVID-19, as it doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon. Many colleges are switching to online learning for the foreseeable future, and it is up to us to adapt to the circumstances. Whether that means helping out our families, encouraging friends, or improving the community around us, we should all strive to do better during these times. Each of our individual impacts can make a collective difference in the world. Start today, and we can forge a future much brighter than the present. To my fellow classmates, take a good look at yourselves right now. I wonder what emotions you're feeling. Maybe some sorrow, because you'll never get to relive these past few years again. Maybe some excitement, because you're finally stepping into the adult world and gaining that long-awaited freedom you've dreamt about. Maybe you're anxious about the uncertain times that await you. Or maybe you're just annoyed because you have to wake up early, come here, and listen to speech after speech when you could be watching Netflix instead. Don't worry, I won't talk for much longer. I'd like to wrap up by congratulating the class of 2020. 4 entire years might have seemed daunting when we were freshmen, but they flew by in an instant. Now, it is time for the next chapter of our journey, and I encourage all of you to keep growing and bettering the world around you. There are going to be many more hardships in the future, but each and every one of us can overcome these obstacles. So congrats for making it this far, and good luck in the next 4.
Thank you, Daniel. Please welcome our Vice Principal, Mr. William Diaz, to recognize our academies, honor societies, and class officers.
Please hold your applause until the last name is called in each academy and honor society. National Honor Society, Eugene Jung Lee. Please stand. Denise Park. Leah Sun. Jordan Samuel Wisner. Jennifer Jingyi Zhang. You are members of the National Honor Society. Please be seated. Academy of Finance. Isabel Kenza Malinowski. Zev M. Motiani. Simran Patwalia. Simranjit Patwalia. Shwiking Shi. Hyuma Takamatsu. Mia Zuma Tosik. Jose Antidio Valdez. Angela Yang. Your Academy of Finance. Please be seated. Academy of Theater Arts. Jessica Bu Young Park. Daphne Sardis. Oscar Farulo Trotta. Lucas Sebastian Valdeon. Your Academy of Theater Arts. International Baccalaureate. Daniel Park. Jordan Samuel Wisner. Congratulations, you may be seated. The International Thespian Society. Eugene Jung Lee. Jennifer Ju Lim. Denise Park. Jessica Bu Young Park. Daphne Sardis. Lucas Sebastian Valdeon. Audrey Wang. You're members of the National Art Honor Society. International Thespian Society. National Art Honor Society. Lauren Hyunji Oh. Vanessa Carly Tonalezi. Audrey Wang. The National Art Honors Society. Tri-M Music Honor Society. Jason Jiabin Lee. Yuki Mitsuhashi. Denise Park. Edward M. Park. Daniel Park. Daphne Sardis. And Leah K. Sun. The Tri-M Music Honor Society. I'd like to take this opportunity to also recognize the senior class officers. Please stand when your name is called. Your president, Simran Patwalia. Vice President, Mia Zuma Tosik. Your treasurer, Maya Koprivika. And your secretary, Samuel Frazier Morel.
I would now like to invite our valedictorian, Daniel Lim, to say a few words to his class.
Is Glenn? Do I just leave this here? Dear Fort High School, my parents, the Board of Education, distinguished guests, faculty, and loved classmates, and especially the greatest mom/counselor of them all, Ms. Brown, who is not here because she's on maternity leave. Thank you for everything. You've made this possible, and I'm sorry it had to end this way. It's crazy how time flies. We were kids, just 14, when upperclassmen guided us to classrooms. It seemed like graduation would never come. Fast forward to the coronavirus. Let's be honest and call it what it is. The worst and most unexpected ending to high school. Robbed of a proper graduation, prom, senior nights, senior trips, the last few moments of being high schoolers. We witnessed how a little virus single-handedly crushed our world. I guess we can say this is our inauguration into adulthood. The real world. And adults would frequently tell us the real world isn't very pretty. I guess that's true. Going through this, however, made me realize how much school actually meant for me. And I'm sure you guys know what I mean. Thinking of the hordes of kids in the hallways after school feels like a distant dream nowadays. Teachers beginning class, although once mundane, would be so nice to have just one more time. Hugging and dapping up friends between classes. Gym volleyball. Random blackouts. Those are fun. The excitement in the air during the last few weeks of school. I like to think about these things from time to time, then become sad when it hits that they'll never be again. But the drip finally stops, and we are on the other side. Once you hit rock bottom, you can only go up. On one hand, it does suck that our last year of childhood wasn't what we expected. But on the other hand, it's a great launch pad. Life always comes in cycles. Bad, then good, then bad again. Then good. I'm not going to sugarcoat and say that our final moments of senior year were decent or half okay. They were bad. But that'll just make our next couple steps into adulthood that much sweeter. And it will get better. Much better than what 2020 has brought upon us. Even better than what we had known as normal life before. I think it's clear that there's still a lot of work to be done in the world. One virus has exposed the socioeconomic, political, and healthcare related, among many more discrepancies in the world today. I remember thinking in history class, wow, compared to the past, we are living in paradise. Yes, although we are living in relatively the greatest period of time in humanity, we must do better. Let's all contribute. The small collective effort of many will yield a large noticeable result. You have the power to impact your community in the right direction. Slowly, the world will get better and better. I used to think that these were cheesy things to say, and they still are. But I realize now that it's the only option that we have, and we can do this together. Continue to fight for what is right, continue to make change, and be honest with yourself. Think deeply about what you truly want. It will outlast the fatigue, pain, and anger you feel along the way of achieving it. The slate upon which we enter adulthood is not the prettiest in comparison to some of our older peers, but this means you and I have the responsibility to improve upon it to an even greater extent. Congratulations for the class of 2020.
Thank you, Daniel. I would like to ask our President of the Board of Education, Mrs. Esther Hahn Silver, to address the class.
Thank you, Mrs. Glenn. Good morning, class of 2020. Truly feels incredible to be here with all of you and to be able to see you in person. What can I say to you? Well, We all know you've had to give up quite a lot due to everything that's happened. We, as a community, asked you to sacrifice a lot for the common good. It's for this reason that I think everyone will always have a special place in their hearts for the graduates of 2020. We realize you had to work harder than any senior class before you to get across that finish line, but you persevered and you made it here today to sit with your classmates. And now it's time to move forward. While I have you as a captive audience, indulge me and let me give you some advice. As a parent of 2 high schoolers and someone who was actually sitting on this field 25 years ago for my own graduation, I could actually go on for hours, but I'm going to spare you because it's hot, and I'll limit myself to 2 key things. First, drawing on something your classmates have said, be a catalyst for change. Register to vote if you're eligible. Most of you are 18 now, so it's time to take that next step to becoming an adult. You may have to still sit at the kids' table when you're at family gatherings, but when it comes to the political realm, you have an equal voice. Your voice can't be heard if you're not registered to vote. Pay attention to what's going on, educate yourself on the issues, make informed choices. We've all seen that decisions made at all levels of government affect all of us, so it's important for everyone to vote. One last thing. A lot of things ended abruptly for us, especially for the school year, so you may not have had the chance. Be sure to thank your teachers, guidance counselors, and other school staff for their help during your school years. Some of them are here with us today. They've put a lot of effort into making sure your last year was a success, so I'm sure they would appreciate hearing from you before you go off. Class of 2020, you're certainly a special group. On behalf of the Board of Education, congratulations from the bottom of our hearts to you and your families. Good luck.
Thank you, Mrs. Hans Silver. At this time, I invite our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Kenneth Rhoda, to the podium.
Thank you, Mrs. Glenn. Good morning and congratulations to the family and friends of the class of 2020. Congratulations to the Fort Lee High School staff here and not present for their efforts in achieving this goal. And most importantly, congratulations to you, the graduates, whose hard work and diligence over the last 4 years has paid off. At times during the last few months, you probably felt that today would never come. Now you are wondering what happened to the last 4 years. If the last few months have taught us anything, it's that life is an exciting and dangerous and challenging ride that moves faster and faster as you go further down the track. My advice to you, try and make sure you enjoy the ride. A great deal has happened since March. However, don't let a pandemic define you as a group or as individuals. The class of 2020 is a culmination of your past 18 years of learning and growing. I hope that you continue to learn and grow as you continue to move through the next part of your life. I wish the class good luck and congratulations. Mrs. Hans Silver, members of the Board of Education, Mrs. Glenn, and the Fort Lee High School staff, Mayor Sokolis, Chief Hinsey, and the Fort Lee community. I hereby certify that the students present here have fulfilled the rigorous graduation requirements of the Fort Lee Board of Education and the state of New Jersey. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Rhoda, for your remarks to the class. It is such a pleasure to be here this morning to celebrate the class of 2020. Well, we made it. I know it hasn't been easy, and life sure did give the class of 2020 many lemons. But today, we start to create our lemonade. With all of the obstacles that this class has faced over the last few months, they were still able to shine. The class of 2020 earned over $108,000 in scholarship money and had many impressive college acceptances, including Princeton, Duke, Georgetown, and NYU. Our Bridgman athletes had an outstanding year. Both girls soccer and girls volleyball had their best season on record. Our girls basketball team went to the state finals for the first time in school history. Boys bowling received a Group 2 county title. Boys indoor track received a Bergen County Small Schools title as well as the title of County Team of the Year. And of course, one of our senior boys became a 1,000-point scorer for the boys basketball team. In the world of performing arts, our marching band was named Group 4A Atlantic Coast Champions, a tremendous accomplishment. Our color guard was a Region 10 champion for the second consecutive year. The Wind Ensemble was selected to be part of the 2020 North Jersey Region 1 Concert Band Festival. We had a cellist who was part of the Fort Lee High School piano trio chosen to perform at Lincoln Center, and another senior named to the New Jersey All-State Chorus. And this is just a small portion of the wonderful things our graduating class has accomplished during their senior year. They have truly left their mark and have made us so proud. They have proven to be strong, talented, and resilient young men and women and have handled all of 2020's misfortune well. This class makes me think of a popular childhood story. You all remember the story of the little engine that could. I am sure many of the parents in the audience remember reading this story to their children as if it was yesterday. I think I can. I think I can. This is your motto, class of 2020. Even though many things did not go your way this year, you thought you could, and you did. Just like the little engine, the class of 2020 overcame a challenging situation by having hope and positive thoughts. They made it over the mountain and achieved all their goals. Michelle Obama recently said, "You may not always have a comfortable life, and you will not always be able to solve all of the world's problems at once. But don't ever underestimate the importance you can have, because history has shown us that courage can be contagious and hope can take on a life of its own." Continue to have hope, class of 2020. Set meaningful goals for yourself. Take action and create powerful lifelong habits. Continue to believe in yourself even when life gets tough. And remember, this is just a chapter at the beginning of your brilliant story. I know you will all work hard to have your desired ending. Congratulations to the class of 2020. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Diaz to call up our seniors to receive their diplomas.
All graduates should remain seated until their row is asked to stand. Once your row is called, please stand and begin walking to your left, moving down the center of your row one station at a time to ensure that a social distance is maintained. As you approach the stairs to the stage, please wait for your name to be called before walking across the stage to retrieve your diploma jacket. All graduates' names will be called whether they are present or not. Once each graduate crosses the stage, please return to your row and you may be seated. We ask that all graduates and guests hold their applause until the last name is called. For everyone's safety, at the conclusion of the ceremony, we ask that you do not throw your caps. At this time, graduates in row 1, please stand and walk to your left. Daniel J. Landau. Daniel Kyung Hyung Lee. Eugene Jung Lee. Norella Florencia Lee. Sung Hyung Lee. Sung Min James Lee. Jason Jabin Lee. Davy Hao Lee. Lingyi Liao. Jennifer Ju Lim. Kyungyoung Daniel Lim. Eric Lin. Daniil Litvinenko. Row 2, please stand and walk toward your left. Santilano Yaho. Albert Lopez. Isabel Kenza Malinowski. Leon Matthew Krupnik. Adesh N. Mehta. Christopher A. Mendez. Chloe Meneses. Yuki Mitsuhashi. Shion Celeste Mizuguchi. Joseph Malta. Zev M. Motiani. Row 3, please stand and make your way toward your left. Ismail Ihab Mustafa. Bashar Nagi Nassar. Juliana Rose Nesterson. Genesis Mina Nunez. Lauren Hyunji Oh. David Senyo Oke Yaboa. Amanda Jung-Ah Pak. Denise Park. Edward M. Park. Emily Y.J. Park. Jessica Bu-Young Park. Row 4, please stand and make your way to the left. Ju Young Park. Daniel Park. Sarah Park. Tay Park. Kyle Patrick. Simran Patwalia. Simranjeet Patwalia. Alexa Peña. Sarah Nicole Perez. Ziying Piao. Alicia Pio. Stephanie Rocha Robello. Sikander Raja. Gladys Ramache. Row 5, please stand and make your way toward your left. Madison Kirsten Reyes. Eric Resnick. Kate Rowe. Khalil J. Rivas. Alexis Christina Rivera. Chris Rodriguez. James Manuel Rodriguez. Tiffany Rodriguez Acosta. Maya Rowe. Fariza Z. Salim. Tiffany Gloria Sanchez. Daphne Sardis. At this time, I'd like to bring up former Board of Ed member and former president David Sarnoff to present the diploma jacket to his son, Jordan Beck Sarnoff. Justin Seo. Veer Shah. Maya Alicia Hedaka Sharp. Ortal Shazo. Shweking Shi. William Wu Shi. Caitlin Shi. Brandon Shim. Row 6, please stand and make your way to the left. Eric S. Shin. Rachel Heiji Shin. Samantha P. Silver. Johnny Adriel Silverio Pichardo. Niraj Singh. Bulat Sadnamov. Alicia J. San. Yuju San. Rami Solomon. Leah K. Sun. Naomi Sterling. Elias Suffern. Richard Sung. Huma Takamatsu. Valeria Tamayo Gomez. Angel Tavares. L. Kenton Taylor. Leah K. Taylor. Justin Tyler Tintin. Row 7, please stand and make your way to the left. Vanessa Carly Tanalezi. Mia Zuma Tosik. Oscar Farulo Trotta. Yi Tuo. Elma Ugjanyan. Lucas Sebastian Valdeon. Jose Antidio Valdez. Alyssa Carmen Vega. Jose Angel Ventura. Petro Wojcicki. Joshua Ware. Jordan Samuel Weisner. Audrey Wang. Hannah Wong. Paul Russell Wu. Anna Nadine Yagadayev. Angela Yang. Jesse Yepis. Kevin Yepes. Danielle Uden. Russell C. Yum. Julia Yoon. Wanje Yoon. Matthew Steve Zambrano. Jennifer Jingyi Zhang. Anil Zoggiani. Congratulations, class of 2020. I'm going to hand it back to Mrs. Glynn for closing remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2020. Thank you all for coming. Our program has ended. We ask that you please exit the field quickly and safely using our 4 designated exits. Please continue to remain 6 feet apart and have a wonderful day. Thank you again.